creating a support system to help you on your wellness journey. Let's talk about how to make that happen. Hello and welcome to Amanda Widener Wellness. My name is Amanda. I'm so excited to have you here. On this channel, I talk about all things weight loss, weight management, tools like GLP-1s, fitness, nutrition, and everything in between. Today, we're going to talk about what exactly a support system should have in it to help you along your wellness journey and how to create your own support system as you make your way along the path. But before I get into that, I do have a disclaimer. I am not a doctor or a healthcare provider, and while I am a personal trainer and group fitness instructor, I am not your personal trainer or group fitness instructor, so please speak with your doctor and wellness team before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or medication regimen. Everything on this channel is based solely on my opinions and experiences. So let's talk about support systems. This is something that many people feel like they're lacking as they start in a wellness journey. They just feel like they either don't have the comfort level to tell people that they're starting on this, or maybe there's someone like me who's tried to lose weight so many times in their life that it's failed and they just don't feel like they want to let anybody down again, so they don't want to tell anyone. Or maybe they just don't feel like the people in their life are going to support them along the way, and maybe they're going to make it more difficult or emotionally more challenging. So we want to find some sort of network to rely on to help encourage us along the way for when we come along those bumps in the road, and so that we feel like we're seen and heard during a time that can be really challenging for many of us. So what should a support system include? Well, a support system should first and foremost be an encouraging environment for you. So you're looking to create an organization that is going to understand that you have these goals, and they're going to be ready and willing to push you along the way in a really positive manner. You want them to give you positive feedback and celebrate successes and just be a source of motivation for you as you continue on in your journey. They should also have some sort of accountability for you. They should be some sort of source where you can go to them and say, where they're asking, like, are you doing your workouts? Are you looking at what you're doing nutritionally? Are you doing these goals, these little mini goals that you set along the way? And if you're not doing them, they should give you the encouragement to get back on track. That accountability factor is a really big one. For me, accountability is one of my biggest things that I need accountability for is getting my workouts in. It's one of the main reasons why I love being a fitness instructor. If I'm getting paid to be there, I kind of have to be there. But I still have other workouts, especially in the weight room, where I am not being paid to be there. I have to do that on my own time, and I often lack motivation to do it. And so I've created some accountability support system accountability levers in order to get me into that weight room. I've been sharing on social media what I've been doing, and if I don't post them, I have a few friends who are like, hey, I haven't seen a post. Have you been to the weight room this week? That sort of thing. It's really been helpful to make sure that I'm getting the part of my workout that is a challenge for me to get to. So you're looking for accountability as well as encouragement. You're also looking for understanding. You want to be associating with peers who are understanding that you have challenges and obstacles you have to overcome. A wellness journey is a marathon. It's not a race. You're not going to just sprint to the finish line and then all of a sudden you've reached all of your goals. So you want to have people in place who understand that you need to go around all of these obstacles to get from point A to point B to point C before you're going to get all the way down to point Z, which is where your ultimate goal is. And they're going to be empathetic towards these struggles. They're going to offer you advice, and they're going to be a sounding board as you try to navigate through all of these different obstacles. You also want a network that is flexible. A healthy support system is going to be able to adapt as your needs change. Like I said, wellness journeys are not a marathon or are not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's very, very long. In fact, it's the rest of your life. And so you want a network in place that understands that as time goes on, your goals change, your needs change, your lifestyle might change, and you need to adapt to that. And they also need to adapt along with you as they encourage you along to reach your goals. And you want it to be a non-judgmental group, right? I always say that my classes are a judgment-free zone, and I mean that because I want everyone to come in and feel like they have a place there. I don't care what your fitness level or ability or even inability is. I don't care if you're a dancer or not. I don't care if you're young, old, in between. I don't care what your race, ethnicity, political background, none of that stuff matters when you walk through the door. When you come through the door, we are all human and we are all there to dance and we all belong there. And I really try to encourage that in my classes because for many, that is their weekly therapy. They like to come and let loose in a dance class, and that's what they need. And so I do that in my dance classes, but I'm also looking for that to happen with my support system. I want to know that I can go to them and be like, hey, I've really been struggling. I've been doing X, Y, and Z, and I know I shouldn't. and I just need to like get things back together so I can get back on track. And I don't want them to judge me for that. That's one of the great things about being able to share my journey here. I can tell you like, hey, I'm doing really great this week, or hey, I'm really struggling. And I know that there's going to be people out there on YouTube who are watching the videos who understand along with me that some weeks are not great and some weeks are awesome. And that's just part of the process. So we know that these are the things we're looking for, right? We're looking for encouragement, accountability, understanding, flexibility, and a non-judgmental atmosphere. Once we know what we're looking for in a support system, we need to start building it. So you want to identify your needs specifically and what you think, how you think you will benefit on your journey in this positive way if you have these certain needs met. So you want to think about things like finding others who are like-minded. Right? So I have I just posted a video the other day talking about my some thoughts on fitness and wellness that can be controversial. And so I struggle communicating with other people on my own personal journey when we don't see eye to eye on some of those things. So if I'm talking about how I had a Diet Coke the other day, I don't want the person who's supposed to be in my support group lecturing me on how they think that Diet Coke is not great for you. If that's what you think, that's absolutely fine and you're entitled to that opinion. But as I've said in many videos, please don't yuck my yum. That's something that I enjoyed and I wanted on my journey. And if you're going to be in my support system, we don't have to necessarily agree on that, but I don't want you judging me for it. Right? So you're going to look for like-minded people. If they don't need to agree with you on everything, but you want them to at least be open to hearing you without judgment, right? That's like-minded. They want to be on a wellness journey, or they have been on a wellness journey. They understand where you're coming from, and they're going to make you feel like seen and heard and understood without judgment. Then you're going to try to figure out where to find these people. So great places to find like-minded people who are on wellness journeys is the gym. Group fitness classes is one of my favorite places. Group fitness classes just have this tendency to be a really collective community that is open to everyone who comes in. I have made some of the best friends in my real life outside the gym in fitness classes. It's just become a really great support network and all of us are kind of on similar journeys or have been on them. So we understand where each other's coming from. It helps us feel like we have to go to class because we're going to see our friends. It's been a really great source. But if you're not into group fitness classes, you could find that in the weight room, or you could connect with a personal trainer and make them part of your support system. Personal trainers will definitely keep you accountable because you have to make appointments with them. And if you don't show up, they're going to be reaching out for you. You can also connect with people on social media. Social media is a wonderful tool. There are many weight loss, weight management, GLP-1 type groups out there. You can find groups on places like Facebook for specific paths that you're taking or things that you're interested in when it comes to wellness. Kind of think about the things that matter to you. Maybe you're into high protein, maybe you're into low carb, maybe you're on a GLP-1. You can search for those types of groups. And then you can find like-minded people in them. You can also look on other social media platforms by looking up hashtags. You can search hashtag weight loss, hashtag, women over 40 weight loss, those types of things. You can also search for local events that are happening in your local area and meet people at those events. So you can search for puppy yoga or walking groups or running groups, or sometimes some gyms will have open gyms, or you can even look for sometimes there'll be healthy snack get-togethers where the people cook together. You can look for these wellness type events and gatherings and go out to them, and you'll find other people who are on the same journey as you that can become part of your support network. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Everyone always feels a little awkward at first meeting new people. I know very few people who don't anyway. But especially as we get older and we get more comfortable in our daily lives, but meeting new people as you start on this path can be really beneficial to you in the long run because they understand where you're coming from, and it's nice to have someone who knows what you're going through kind of on text dial or on speed dial. I usually text people, so I'm going to say text dial. It's just someone you can reach out to when you're having a moment of weakness or a moment of frustration. Also, you can ask your coworkers or friends or family to do things with you, then they can become a part of that support network. Hey, do you want to go for a walk today? Do you want to go grab a coffee and go for a walk while we have our coffee? Do you want to go kayaking? Those types of things, and try to make it a more regular thing. Lots of people like to go bike riding on the weekends. If you can find someone to do that with you regularly, they become part of your support network because you have that shared interest and you're doing something that benefits your wellness journey. And if you feel comfortable with them, you can share your goals and aspirations as you continue on in your path. You also want to embody the atmosphere that you're seeking, right? So if you're looking for a really positive, supportive environment, you want to embody that and be that for others. People are not going to gravitate towards you and offer you help if you're not reciprocating that. Just like you wouldn't continually approach somebody else to be a part of your support system if they're not reciprocating towards you these moments of offering help and support. So really embody that, be positive, even though you can have moments of frustration or exhaustion or fatigue. When it comes to a wellness journey, the overall tone should be a positive one so that you're encouraging others. It's okay to be positive. You can still be positive and frustrated at the same time. That's called venting, and that's okay. You don't want to be the person who's always negative about everything, though. You don't want someone to be talking about their struggles on their wellness plan, and you're like, yeah, we should all just quit. Nobody's looking for that in a support network. They're all looking for the same thing, which is what you and I are looking for in a support network, which is someone to understand and motivate them. So be that for others so that they can be that for you. Embrace diversity, inclusivity, and just really recognize that everyone's journey is different. That's really important. My journey will not look like your journey. Yours will not look like mine. And that's okay, but we will have moments on our own journeys that we can relate to each other on, because every now and then there'll be something that overlaps or a moment where I can relate to that in one way or the other. So while I might not have the exact experience you are, let's say you're going through a plateau and you're only 10 pounds from your goal weight. Well, I can't relate to that right now because I'm a little further than that from my goal weight. I don't really have like a set goal weight, but like a general idea, right? I can't really relate to that. I'm a little bit further, but I can understand the frustration of the scale not moving when you want it to, because I've hit a plateau before. So we can at least communicate that way and motivate each other and keep it really positive without dragging the other person down. You want to make sure that everyone is feeling valued and motivated and supported. And that starts with you. If you're embodying that, then others will embody that towards you as well. So I really encourage you to just set the example. I like to say that to others, right? You lead by example. You want to be the person that you want to attract. So if you want to attract others into your support network who are inclusive and supportive and motivating and non-judgmental, then you need to be that person as well. So remember that building a supportive wellness community is about lifting each other up and fostering this sense of belonging and community, and not tearing each other down or making them feel like they're less than. Also, you want to make sure that you're setting SMART goals for accountability. So a SMART goal is one that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So set these goals and then let your community, your support system know what your goals are. These SMART goals change over time because there is a deadline, and you might have goals within your goals. Your goal might be lose 100 pounds, but before you get to that 100 pounds, you want to have a smaller goal to help keep you motivated. So maybe you have a 90-day goal, a 6-month goal, a 9-month goal, and a year goal, right? These are great ways to keep yourself motivated and accountable, and then you share them with others so that they can help you along the way. So when you're setting your goals, set SMART goals. So we're going to start with specific. You want it to be clearly defined. I want to lose 100 pounds. I want to wear a size 12. I want to track my food every day. Okay, so those are really clear goals. It needs to be measurable. You need to ensure that your goal has a way of being measured so that you can track your progress. So obviously a number on the scale is easy to track. You get on the scale, you either hit it or you didn't. But a goal that's like, I want to track my food every day. Go back and look. Did you track it every day? Did you use an app? Did you put it in a journal? Did you put it on a Post-it note? Were you tracking every day? You need to have a way that you can look back and measure it to see if you hit your goal or not. It also needs to be achievable. So you want it to be something that you can actually achieve, right? Something that's not so far out of reach that it's almost impossible or frustrating to you. So that's why I said within your goals, set smaller goals. So 100 pounds seems like really hard to do. But if your first goal is track my nutrition for 90 days, you're going to lose weight in that 90 days if you're tracking your nutrition and eating on plan. And then your next goal could be, I want to lose 15 pounds in the next 90 days. That's 5 pounds a month. That's achievable for many people, not all, but many. So you can try for that, right? So you can make these smaller goals within the big picture goal to see if you can get there. And then you want your goal to be relevant. So you want to be mindful that it aligns with the bigger picture of your goals, right? So as you set those smaller goals, keep that big goal in mind. And then your big goal should also relate to the smaller goals that you're making along the way. So share those with your support system as you're building it. They will help keep you accountable, and you can help them keep accountable for their goals as well. Also, you want to consider that you are looking for people who are going to provide emotional support and sympathy. So you want to practice active listening and share stories with them, and remember that everyone's story is different. And again, this kind of goes back to the embody who you want to attract. So if you want people who are emotionally supportive and vulnerable and empathetic with you, that's who you should be for them, and they'll be that way for you as well. And then another thing that you can do with these groups as you're developing them is use science. Sometimes when we get so emotionally connected to others and we're emotionally attached to our goals, it can be really frustrating when we're struggling to meet them. So by being the person who is bringing science into things, it can take away some of that emotion and make it a little bit more, a little less stressful, because it's science says, right? So taking out that emotional side can keep you and your peers motivated. So do some research and share it, or bring in some experts. You can ask questions and give feedback to your peers of what you've learned, but you can also say, bring in a dietitian or reach out to a physician who understands whatever type of wellness you're seeking, or meet with a personal trainer and have them come up with some sort of program for you. And you can talk to them about how you can share that with your peers. Or if you find someone on YouTube that you really like, share the link to the YouTuber with them. These are all great ways to just keep providing facts with your peers so that it takes away that emotional side of things, especially when you're having a frustrating moment. A lot of times it kind of grounds you. So by providing that emotional content, you're really empowering individuals in your support group the tools they need to make these positive lifestyle changes to achieve their long-term wellness goals. You also want to make sure, as you're developing these support groups, that you are celebrating milestones and achievements with each other. That's what people are really looking for, right? If someone has been on a plateau and they were trying to lose weight and they finally lose a pound, celebrate that, cheer them on, motivate them. And same with you. If you reach your goal, you want people to celebrate with you. So celebrate those milestones and achievements. It bounds people together by feeling like they're celebrating each other. And it really helps bridge friendships and just build that community up. And that's what you're really looking for, is a sense of community. A few things to avoid as you're creating these support groups or these support systems is comparison. Please don't compare yourself to others. Like I've said already in the video, my story is not your story. Yours is not mine. And wellness and weight loss is not linear. Sometimes you lose more, sometimes less. Sometimes you struggle more, sometimes you struggle less. Some people lose faster, some people lose slower. Some people reach maintenance very quick because they had less to lose. Some people take longer. Everyone's journey is different. Some people need additional tools like a weight loss program or GLP-1s or bariatric surgery, and others don't. And that's okay. We all have a goal, and it's our goal in these support systems is to support each other, encourage each other, motivate each other without judgment. So please don't compare yourself, because comparison is a thief of joy. Also, don't only rely on the support system. Create other networks as a backup net for support. So if you're really leaning into, say, a group on Facebook, find a couple other groups to be a part of. You never know when a group can kind of veer away from your goals or your values. And we don't want you to compromise those things. Just because someone else's opinion has changed or a group's opinion seems to sway in a different path doesn't mean you need to continue on with that support group. That means that group is no longer for you and it's time to build another one. And that's okay. Sometimes being a part of a community is a short-term thing, and there are many other groups out there that will absolutely accept you and support you and motivate you in a really positive way, so go find them. And then remember, most importantly, to maintain boundaries, especially in the world of social media, but just putting yourself out there in general or here on YouTube. Sharing is caring. Please share your stories. That's how others learn and feel seen and heard and accepted, but it's okay to keep parts of your personal life private. You don't have to share everything. We don't need to know everything about your kids and all of that. I share a little bit about mine, but I won't be sharing everything about them because that's part of my private life. And I think that's important to keep separate from this community because this is about wellness and not about my family life. And that's okay. Establish those boundaries and maintain them as you move through this journey. This group is about supporting you in wellness or whatever other type of support system you're looking to create. It's not about your entire life. And that is a-okay. So these were my tips for helping you with creating a support system and really understanding what a support system can do for you on your wellness journey. I hope that you found it helpful. If you have any tips that you want to give to others about creating a system or maintaining one or things that you've learned along the way, please put them in the comments below. It's so helpful to hear from others like you. And I also hope that you will like and subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. Thanks again and have a great rest of your day.